A small school with a small budget got a big win in the NCAA tournament. That's why they call it March Madness, y'all. Okay. After it went down, I had to call and check on my brother, Tim G. Jacob, because y'all know he is the betting man out of the family. I had to check on him because the madness is upon us. But I want to dig a little deeper. Okay. The third eye came over when I saw some from Front Office Sports. Okay. And shout out to them. Okay. It's something I follow on Twitter. They cover the business side of sports. Okay. So I like to see what's going on with that. Okay. You should too. But they put out something showing that Purdue, which I know is not Duke, it's not North Carolina or nothing like that, but Indiana is a basketball crazed state, and Purdue is a program that prides themselves on their basketball. Okay, they were the number one seed. So Purdue last season, based on what you're seeing there on the screen, Purdue had a $2.3 million operating budget. Okay, for basketball. That's just for basketball. Okay. In contrast, Fairleigh Dickinson had $166,000 operating budget. Okay. So I saw that and I said, God damn, look at the disparity. Then I got to thinking about how black schools in the same boat when we play these different teams. We play these big ass teams. Talk about basketball now. Y'all know you go look at Jack State, men and women non-conference schedule. You saw a whole lot of quote unquote money game. You see the same thing routinely in football. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever school you fuck with, you know what I'm talking about? You see the same thing. And I'm like, damn. We don't really think about that. Like when we think of a PWI, we always think of the big schools. In football, you think about Alabama and Georgia and USC. You think about them, Notre Dame. In basketball, you think of Duke and North Carolina and UCLA, Purdue, Indiana, Michigan State. You know, you think about all these programs. You don't think of those small schools like a Fairleigh Dickinson. You rarely ever think about them until March Madness time, where you hear of some school that we've never heard of knock off some powerhouse. It's happening more and more frequently now. Why are you talking about this first? I'm talking about this because this shows us what can be done in the game of basketball. It shows us that at HBCUs, the playing field can be leveled more easily and more quickly in basketball than it can in football. Okay. Now you might say, well, first, that's just one game. True. That it is just one game. But also, I would think that Jack State operating budget is more than $166,000 or whatever your school that you support. It's probably more than $166,000. Now, I'm not privy to that kind of information. Okay, them 1,400 boys might be able to give you more information on that than I can for Jack State supporters. You know what I'm talking about? But you know, y'all real ones, let me know if y'all are privy to what your school's operating budget is for men or women's basketball. You know, let us know. But it doesn't take much. It takes a lot of shit. Football is hella expensive. Hella expensive. Okay. I hear people talk about, well, people get priced out of baseball, but hell, what about football? Football, you gotta buy all these damn pads and helmet and you gotta have a separate thing just to carry that shit around the country. You know what I'm saying? Let alone transporting the players. and then paying all these damn coaches. Like, it's hella expensive in football. But we can play catch up quicker in basketball. We really can. And make some history. You really can. Okay? If Fairleigh Dickinson can put themselves on the map like this by getting this historic win, when they 166 racks for the whole fucking operating budget for last year versus a team that theirs was 2.3 million, shows it can be done. Shit, anybody get hot. But it can be consistent winning is what I'm getting at. It can be something that happens consistently. If you just get enough money, you generate enough money, you get the right people and you recruit smartly, you can turn these small programs into national powers. I'm telling you, I see it. We just got to keep this wave riding, okay, of the Black Renaissance. Don't let what happened with Prime make it die out. We can still keep this shit going. But I'm telling you, it can happen more easily and more quickly in basketball. Okay? We just got to keep stiff arming these false notions of inferiority, because I don't hear nobody calling Fairleigh Dickinson inferior, because obviously they ain't got that kind of money either. It's a small private school. Okay? So either they don't have the money or they choosing not to spend it on sports. Okay? But nobody calls them inferior for not having and stuff like that, not being able to match money with a school like Purdue. But we know what that is. We know what that is. And some black people buy into that bullshit too. So we know what that is. That's self-hatred. Okay, when it coming from black people, that's just racism when it coming from people outside the black community. We know what that is. We got to just keep countering that, keep doing the work. But I'm telling y'all, get behind your school's basketball team. This kind of shit can happen for us consistently. Consistently. Somebody gonna do it. Somebody gonna start getting those 4 and 5 stars come out of high school and go to HBCU. And go get that bitch jumping, because social media interactions with basketball dwarf all the other sports. I saw some that said the NBA's social media interactions beats NFL, MLB, everybody else combined. That's power basketball. It can happen. We just got to get behind it. Okay? Fairleigh Dickinson showed us what can happen when you're a small school with a small budget. You can go get big wins. Put it on some.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?